Viewers, on the morning of October 19th, 2025, the Louvre Museum opened to the public as usual. Guards were at their posts, and tourists from all over the world were entering the museum. At las 8:30 de la mañana. The museum had been open for 30 minutes when an unusual movement occurred on the side that faces the river Seine. A truck the kind typically used to deliver furniture. Two upper floors pulled up next to the museum wall. This truck was fitted with a mechanical lift, but the truck wasn't there to hoist any furniture, and the intentions of the men inside were anything but clean. The group consisted of 4 people. They wore yellow and orange vests, just like construction workers, but their faces were hidden behind balconies. 2 of the 4, without any hesitation, extended the mechanical lift up to a balcony on the first floor of the museum. This balcony leads to one of the museum's most magnificent sections, the Galerie d'Apollon. The Gallery of Apollo. This is the gallery where France's royal treasures were on display. But to get into the Gallery of Apollo, there was a major obstacle. A very thick glass wall. After reaching the balcony, they took an industrial-grade disc cutter from their bag and, in just a few seconds, cut a hole in the glass and managed to enter. It all happened so quickly that the security guards still had no idea. But this action triggered the museum's security alarm, and the guards in the gallery saw the thieves. The thieves, however, didn't care about anything. They brandished their power tools to threaten the guards and kept at their work. The guards immediately followed protocol and began evacuating tourists from the gallery. Chaos now reigned in the museum. An eyewitness later said that there was a state of absolute fear and panic. People couldn't understand what was happening, while the police and staff members were busy ushering frightened visitors out of the museum. The 2 thieves calmly smashed the glass of the display cases, grabbed 9 precious treasures, and then slipped back out through the cut-hole to the balcony. Down below, their 2 accomplices were now waiting for them on scooters. They quickly descended the lift stairs, jumped on the scooters, and fled. Everything happened so fast that no one had the chance to grasp it. According to the police, the thieves were inside the museum for 4 minutes, and the entire operation parking the truck, extending the stairs, cutting the glass, pulling off the theft, and escaping took only 8 minutes. As they left, they even tried to set the lift truck on fire so the police wouldn't find any evidence or fingerprints on it, but a brave museum staff member intervened immediately and stopped them from doing so. The thieves managed to escape along the riverbank. Then, onto the boulevard périphérique Paris's ring road, and from there, onto the A6, OTOR-WAY. This daylight robbery was an intolerable humiliation for France. But the question is, what exactly was stolen from the museum? What items did the thieves target? When the damage was assessed, a wave of grief swept across France. The items stolen had financial value, of course, but their historical and cultural worth was described as priceless. According to the Ministry of Culture, a total of 8 precious items were stolen from the Louvre. Now you might be thinking, I said 9 at first. Yes, the thieves did steal 9 items, but one fell onto the street as they fled. It was the 170-year-old crown of Empress Eugénie. Empress Eugénie, the wife of Napoleon III, had this crown made for her. In 1855, when the thieves were pulling this crown through the hole in the glass, the opening was too small, so it wouldn't pass through. Forcing it out caused significant damage, and when it finally fell onto the road, it acquired several scratches. The museum director later said that repairs might be possible, but the loss of the 8 items that disappeared cannot be made whole. Among those were a beautiful tiara and a brooch belonging to Empress Eugénie, Empress Marie-Louise Napoleon Bonaparte's second wife, her emerald necklace, and the earrings from the same set. In addition, from the sapphire sets of Queen Marie-Amélie and Queen Hortense, a tiara, a necklace, a single earring, and a special kind of brooch called a reliquary brooch. All of these items dated to the 19th century and were set with thousands of diamonds, emeralds, sapphires, and other precious stones. These were not merely jewels, they were part of France's royal history. One estimate put the value of the gold, stones, and diamonds used in all the jewelry at $2 million. But given the royal families to whom they belonged, even $102 million or even $1 billion could not compensate for the loss. That is why they're called priceless. What was astonishing was that the thieves did not lay a hand on the most valuable items in that gallery, such as the famous historic Regent diamond, valued at 51 million euros, or 60 million. In addition, the diamonds known as the Sancy and the Hortensia were also there. But the thieves ignored them. For this reason, it is believed that perhaps they had come on a specific order and knew exactly what to steal. The Paris prosecutor's office has said that this loss is not about money, but about France's history. But the question arises, at the world's most famous museum, where tens of millions come every year, how could there be a lapse despite such heavy security? When the investigation began, several astonishing revelations came to light. French media reported in initial accounts that in the part of the museum where the theft occurred, 1 out of every 3 rooms had no CCTV camera at all. Yes, at the world's largest museum, the CCTV coverage was not complete, and the external cameras that were installed did not fully cover the balcony where the thieves cut the glass and entered. But an even bigger shock came when a member of the French Senate, Nathalie Goulet, told the BBC that the alarm that rang was actually the museum's wider alarm. There was also a localized alarm system on that balcony, but it had broken a few days earlier. If that alarm had been functioning, security would have known about the thieves' entry onto the balcony immediately after the theft. The museum's director acknowledged the security failure and submitted her resignation to the Ministry of Culture. But her resignation was not accepted. This robbery has raised a serious question mark over the security of France's museums. And let us also tell you that this was not the first such incident. In this very museum in 1911, the Mona Lisa painting was stolen. A former employee of the museum stole Leonardo da Vinci's famous painting. He hid the painting under his coat and walked out. The painting was recovered 2 years later in Italy when the thief tried to sell it. That incident is what made the Mona Lisa the most famous painting in the world. Then in 1976, King Charles d'Assou's was also stolen from this museum. 3 thieves broke a museum window, entered, and stole King Charles X's sword, which has never been recovered. And the last time, in 1998, this museum was again the center of a crime. During the day, thieves removed a painting from its frame and managed to escape. That painting is still missing. And now, 27 years later, this robbery has occurred. At present, more than 60 and, according to some reports, more than 100 investigators are working on the case. Fortunately, on Saturday, October 25, 2025, the police arrested 2 suspects whose links to this robbery appear strong. The police collected around 150 DNA samples and fingerprints from the Santic and from the thieves' gear, such as helmets and gloves. And from inside the truck end, the police say the arrests were made on the basis of DNA match. One of the suspects also has a previous record for gold theft. The police hope that all the thieves and the mastermind involved in the Paris Museum robbery will be caught soon, but it has not yet been stated whether stolen items have been recovered from these suspects. After the theft, the museum was kept closed until October 2nd, but the Apollo Gallery is still shut. The police say this was a highly organized and professional theft, and the investigation is still ongoing.